Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to give you my thoughts on Abigail. Now, this film's starting to get quite a bit of buzz, and I've been looking forward to it myself. I mean, when it was first announced to you to see the headlines, ballerina vampire movie, releasing in 2024 or whatever, I was like, okay. It just seems like a silly gimmick, not really thinking twice of it. Then you hear about the cast that was going to be involved eventually, like Melissa Barrera just having come out from the Scream films. And you got Catherine Newton, Kevin Durand, who is just an awesome, kind of character actor and just actor in general. Not to mention, Dan Stevens and Juan Carlos Esposito being involved, etc. And the late Angus Cloud. I just kind of started taking notice a little bit more, and I heard like such good things about it coming out of a film festival not too long ago. And I gotta say, it met those expectations and still kind of really took me on a ride. I really enjoyed Abigail. Right along with Godzilla Kong the New Empire this year for different reasons. This is probably my favorite film of the year, next to that one. And I think this is definitely one of the very best vampire movies I've seen in a long time. As much as I enjoyed something like Renfield, I do think this is my favorite vampire film since the first Stakeland movie. And I think this is already kind of competing with some of the other like all-timer, vamp movies from the horror genre over the years. Everyone does a really good job. It utilizes its premise and location so well. It's a little under 2 hours, and it always kept me engaged. I've seen some playing out the setups a little slow. I really don't think so. It just felt deliberately paced, and I think it was appropriate on that end too. But yeah, it utilizes its location well, and it's a kind of handful cast of characters. I was impressed with both how funny it could actually be at times, but also just how nicely they develop the characters without taking away from the plot at hand. And, without giving too much exposition, we still kind of learn about these people and how they behave and stuff like that. And the chemistry is all really on point. Melissa Barrera does a good job, but at times I think the film is stolen by Catherine Newton, who I've always really liked, from Big Little Lies to Lisa Frankenstein recently, even though I didn't really care for that movie too much. Not to mention, her part in Supernatural, and I could go on. I also had the pleasure of meeting Catherine Newton, and this may be my favorite role of hers since Supernatural. She is just a lot of fun here. Kevin Durand, I've loved in The Strain, even back to The Rock's Walking Tall. He gets to play on a lot of sides to himself here. Dan Stevens, he's popping up in more and more recently, having just been Godzilla Kong as well. Still gotta watch The Guest at some point. But the cast is all very good. And it's plenty violent too, trust me. It is rated R, and you get your money's worth on that end too. There's some very grisly images, there's some good kills, and it's just very quenching, and you get your carnage candy, I can say that much. I'm sure someone will probably complain, but it's definitely a definitive rated R, and I think the effects and makeup are all great with it too. I've seen some say they shouldn't have marketed it as a vampire movie. They should have kept that as a surprise. Well, I do think someone will have like a great experience going in if they don't know anything about it, and they just have the reveal of Abigail being a vampire. I'm sure that's a fun experience if you do get that. But at the same time, I get sort of them not doing that, because if they didn't market it as like a vampire movie, it probably wouldn't be doing as well money-wise, at least initially. So I just think from a business standpoint, you get them sort of showing like the full basis for what they have at hand, at least to a point. But there's still stuff that happens that catches you by surprise, and I thought the direction of it was really enjoyable, and they definitely stuck the landing with it, and it's pretty memorable with where it goes and the conclusion of it all. And like I said, you do get surprisingly invested in at least a couple or a few of the characters. And there is a dance number intercutting between Abigail and this other character in the film that definitely blows Megan's out of the water, let me tell you. But yeah, it's this great blend of camp and dread and genuine stakes, literally and figuratively. But yeah, I highly recommend Abigail. Definitely one of the biggest surprises of the year. Definitely probably gonna remain one of my favorite movies of the year. And I think, again, like I said, it's already competing with some of those all-timer vampire movies for me, too. So yeah, I guess thought about this one. If I had to rate it, I'm giving it an A. I'm so any other guy that says that I'm too easy, but man, I just enjoy things, and I know what I enjoy. I have a good nose for it, and this one is another one of those. So yeah, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, of course, Twitter as well, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.